Azar chapter 12, Noun Clauses. Before we start this chapter, let's review some concepts. What is a clause? A clause is a group of words containing a subject and a verb. Noun clauses are dependent clauses that act as nouns. Just like a noun phrase, it is used as a subject or an object. In this example, his story was interesting. His story is not a noun clause, it's a noun phrase. A noun phrase is a group of words that does not contain a subject and a verb. But look at example B. What he said, here you have a subject, you have a verb, was interesting. This is the subject of my sentence, and it's also a noun clause. It's a noun clause acting as the subject of the sentence. Let's see more examples. I heard her story. Again, her story is a noun phrase. No verb here. I heard what she said. What she said is a noun clause. Here you have a subject, you have a verb, and in this case, the noun clause is acting as the object because you can ask the verb, I heard what? I heard what she said. What she said is the object, not the subject. I listened to his speech. His speech is a noun phrase, no verb here. I listened to what he said. What he said is a noun clause. In this case, is the object of the preposition to. I listened to what? What he said. Let's see examples of noun clauses beginning with a question word. Where does she live? I don't know what. Object. Where she lives. Where she lives is a noun clause acting as the object of the verb. Who lives there? I don't know who lives there. So object of the verb. What should they do? What they should do, it's obvious. I don't need to say. So here, what they should do is the subject of my sentence. Now, when you have a noun clause beginning with a question word, this can be confusing to foreigners because they're so accustomed to see question words with do or does or did with an auxiliary verb. They struggle because they will try to put an auxiliary verb here, do or does or did. So you need to explain to your students that where and who or what in this situation, they are not really question words. They are called relative pronouns. Noun clauses beginning with whether or if. Will she come? I'm not sure whether she will come. I'm not sure whether or not she will come. I'm not sure if she will come. Noun clauses beginning with that. I think that Matthew West is a good singer. We know that the world is round. In this case, that can be omitted. That she doesn't understand spoken English is obvious. So this whole part here, this whole chunk, this is a noun clause acting as the subject of my sentence. Direct versus indirect speech. Direct speech, she said, my brother is a student. Now look at the indirect speech of the same sentence. She said that her brother was a student. Here you need to be careful with the verb changes. If you go to page 261, you will find a list of all verb changes. I will watch TV, she said. She said she would watch TV. So because you use will in the direct speech, you have to use would in the indirect speech. She asked, are you going there? She asked if we were going there. Using the subjunctive in noun clauses. The subjunctive in English is a form of structure used to emphasize urgency and importance. Therefore, it's used with verbs such as to urge, to insist, to recommend, or expressions like it's important that. Let's see some examples. The teacher demands that we be on time. Now, this is a detail that even some native speakers don't know, that when you have structures in the subjunctive mood, you should not conjugate this verb here. A lot of people say the teacher demands that we are on time colloquially, but it's not really standard English. You should say we be on time. I insisted that he pay me the money. Again, same thing. I know some people say he pays me the money, but it's incorrect. I recommended that she not to go to the concert. It's important that they be told the truth. So at first it sounds a little different, but this is the correct way. Again, verbs of urgency would be advise, request, insist, propose, suggest, etc. Well, this is the end of chapter 12. Make sure you ask me questions in class if you have.